The sudden death of Mr. Coolidge came as a painful shock to all Americans, for the ex-president had appeared in good health and form during the last year. Only a few weeks ago he made one of his rare appearances in the political field to urge his fellow countrymen to re-elect President Hoover.
Herbert Clark Hoover became 31st president in 1929, overcame the derision of being the Depression president, and was consultant to his successors. A grateful nation accorded Mr. Hoover a state funeral with his body resting in the rotunda of the Capitol. His was a notable record of public service.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin from CBS World News. A press association has just announced that President Roosevelt is dead. The president died of a cerebral hemorrhage. All we know so far is that the president died at Warm Springs in Georgia.
In Managua, Nicaragua.
Good evening. Former President Harry S. Truman died this morning at age 88. The long vigil at Kansas City's Research Hospital came to an end when hospital spokesman Wayne Connery made the announcement.
General Eisenhower died today. His death was peaceful and natural. He was 78 years old, and it was the end of a life so filled with accomplishment and achievement and honors that even though it was a long life, it could hardly have held any more. Down to the end, he remained one of the most popular of all Americans.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
Johnston, the press secretary for Lyndon Johnson, who has reported that the 36th President of the United States died this afternoon in an ambulance plane on the way to San Antonio, where he was taken after being stricken at his ranch, the LBJ Ranch in Johnson City, Texas. He was stricken at 3:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4:40 Eastern Standard Time, 3.
It is my sad duty to report to the people of the United States that Richard M. Nixon, who served as our 37th president, died this evening in New York City at 9:08 p.m. with his family at his side.
The 37th president of the United States dies 20 years after leaving the White House.
Good evening. We're breaking into regular programming right now to tell you the news that Gerald R. Ford, the 38th president of the United States, died today at his home in California. His widow, Betty Ford, has made that announcement. President Ford was 93 years old. He died at home, surrounded by members of his family, including his wife of more than half a century, Betty Ford.
News headquarters in New York. We are coming on the air at this hour because we have just learned that former President Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, has died. He was 100 years old. His passing comes just over a year after the death of former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, his beloved wife of 77 years and childhood sweetheart, the couple inseparable in life and even in death.
Evening. Tonight, we remember Ronald Wilson Reagan. The 40th President of the United States died today in Los Angeles. He was 93 years old. The official cause of death, pneumonia. But the former president had been battling Alzheimer's disease for 10 years. With him, when the end came at his Bel Air, California home, was his life partner and chief caregiver in his final years, former First Lady Nancy Reagan, and their children, Ron and Patty.
We are coming on the air because we have some very sad breaking news. George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st President of the United States, has died at the age of 94. And his death comes just 7 months after burying the love of his life, his beloved wife, Barbara. The two were married for more than 73 years. He was tearful, as you can imagine, during that funeral service, comforted by his children. Bush was the patriarch of one of the most powerful political dynasties in American history. His son, of course, George W.